Welcome back to the EQ Video Tip. I'm your host, Eric Forsetter. We're glad to have you, and we're excited to finish our tips from last week. Before we get started with those tips, here's a quick recap of the goals of EQ Video Tip. Welcome back. Last time we talked about a guide to an emotionally intelligent New Year's or new resolution, as we like to call it. These tips came to us from Robin Stern, Mark Brackett, and Cecily Lipton. They were great tips, and we're going to jump into the second half of those tips right now. Our first tip. Be aspirational while at the same time realistic in terms of your goals. Something that we all think about. We want to shoot for the moon, but remember, if we don't get there, you still get to be amongst the stars. That's an important thing to think about in terms of your goals. Create realistic goals, but use them to also drive you, push yourself even more to create goals that are sensible and that you're conscious that you can achieve if you work hard. At the same time, be realistic. So for example, if you want to clear out your inbox every day so you have a zero inbox, which would be great, I would love to have one of those, be realistic about it because you may fall short and only get halfway or a third of the way there all the time. Use that as an opportunity to be realistic and regroup about what you can do and what expectation you should set every day going forward. So again, be aspirational, but also realistic. Tip number 2, go for it and learn. And we all deal with this. Remember, achieving our goals would not be as fulfilling if we just achieved it on the first try. It takes time. We have to embrace our mistakes and learn from our failures. And if we do that, we won't be burdened by the idea that we're destined to be perfect, because we're not. Every human being goes through this. Rather than giving up on something and labeling it as impossible, embrace the mistakes that you make and learn from them. For example, if you're training for a marathon and you're unable to finish, learn from your mistakes about how you train to improve your training for the next one. The same thing applies in work. If you're going through work and you have trouble meeting a deadline or you miss one, understand and use it as an opportunity to reflect on the work habits that made you miss that deadline so you can improve upon them. At the end of the day, approaching your next deadline, experiment with different ideas to figure out how you can do it better. By going for something and learning from it, it will help you with a better new year and create that resolution that you're looking for. Tip number 3, look to others for support and, of course, always give others support. It's great to be that cheerleader. And remember, we all need encouragement, whether it's from our family, our friends, our coworkers, whoever it might be in our life. It's important to ask for help, and perhaps in the form of a reminder or just to help you with your personal goals overall, because people around you with support make your goals more attainable, and they provide you with wisdom and encouragement to ensure you get there along your way. At the same time, encourage others, help people out, whether it's your teammates, your workmates, your friends, your family, because it's rewarding and more rewarding to watch them succeed and get to where they want to be. So take time to support others and look for support as well. Our last tip, give yourself grace and self-compassion. It's important to incorporate positive ideas and positivity and affirmations into your daily routine. Don't just do this once a month or once a week. Every day, even sometimes hourly, to make sure that we're treating ourselves with self-compassion. When we think about this, it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of practice, but we have to think of ourselves in a self-compassionate and graceful way. In doing that, we're not letting ourselves, quote, off the hook for our mistakes, but we're remembering what it's like to be human, and that's really important. So take time to give yourself self-compassion and grace to help your New Year's resolution come through. That concludes this week's EQ video tip. We hope you enjoyed it. Here's a quick recap of all the different tips that we went through, and hopefully you can incorporate them into your lives. So that concludes our EQ video tip for today. Try incorporating some of these tips into your daily routine. But remember, use what works best for you and personalize it for yourself. Thank you always to our great research team for providing us with some great tips today. As always on EQ Video Tip, we want to end with gratitude. So thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Here are some resources that you can use if you want more information on EQ going forward. Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thank you.